Bye bye. See you later. Bye. Bye bye. Bye bye. Hey, fucking I just got a type. Dude, come on. What the fuck are you doing? Come on. Frick! See you later. Come on. Bye bye. You.
Okay, so I want to talk about this first. My personal experience, I'm not the biggest fan of foreigners, but I absolutely respect and support your freedom if you want to come visit, stay, and be afforded every liberty that is afforded to every other native person in this country. Therefore, living in a civilized society, I do not believe that one human being should be able to lay hands on another human being without extenuating circumstances or if they're committing a violent crime. So that Japanese man was in the wrong. He should not have touched that foreign gentleman. Now, the rest of this video, I don't know the context, so I'm going to try and keep my opinions within the scope of the video itself. The other thing, the Japanese man, he didn't really, if you look at the video, let's have some foresight, right? That Japanese man puts hands on the white man, he drags him out, the white man spills his beer all across the floor. Now someone who was not privy to their interaction might come in, slip on that beer and cause them, there's an accident right there. They could get hurt. And this goes for all foreign people. By all means, have fun and enjoy yourselves. But when you're a guest in another country, you really should be on your best behavior. The British man didn't seem drunk, so I don't think I can excuse his behavior, or I don't think I can blame his behavior on the booze. I think he's just an ass. I honestly think the British man probably was an ass. Probably provoked the Japanese man, because it does take a lot of effort to push a Japanese person into an altercation. Not only into an altercation with a foreign person. So I was extremely surprised to see that. But again, the foreign person should really be on his best behavior. Now, I did say that the Japanese man was in the wrong, but honestly, I do have to commend the Japanese man for being so brave as to be able to confront the foreign gentleman. Because most Japanese people, if you see in that train, everyone looked down, no one wanted to get involved, no one did anything, no one jumped in. So, I have to applaud the Japanese man. I think in one of the comments as well, they were saying how brave he was, and I do have to commend him. Now, all that spiel I gave about one person laying hand on another, in a civilized society shouldn't really be done. But it's coming to that point. It's coming to that point where foreigners, many a foreigner, has been taking advantage of situations and Japanese people. And it probably is coming around to that time where they need a good slap, as opposed to the spanking that their parents should have given them when they were younger. My advice is just walk away. Just walk away or report it to the police. It really is as simple as that. You shouldn't be taking vigilante justice into your own. You shouldn't be taking this vigilante justice into your own hands. Let's take a look at the rules, the codes of conduct on the railway line, on the train, because a lot of foreigners especially have been misinformed and have been saying that it's illegal to drink alcohol on the train. It's not illegal. It might be rude or frowned upon, but I have seen many Japanese people drinking on the train. Japan as a country has more places prohibiting smoking than they do alcohol. Japan is very alcohol centric as a country. So let's have a look at the laws. This is the JR this is the JR West, one of the train companies that are run in Japan. And this question is in English. It says, is it okay to eat and drink on board? The answer is yes. If you do eat and drink on board, please ensure that you keep the cabin tidy and do not inconvenience other passengers. Okay, so I'm going to pull out the etiquette. I'm going to pull out the etiquette on a train. And I brought up the English one so that there's no misunderstanding. And you can see for yourself what the train company allows or doesn't allow. So etiquette in the station: refrain from using smartphones or other devices while walking in the station or in the train, as doing so can result in collisions with other passengers and may result in tripping and falling. Be careful when walking with your suitcase. Use the escalator safely and responsibility. Okay? While waiting for a train at the train station, to ensure that disembarkation of the train proceeds smoothly, please form lines. When waiting for the train, be careful not to fall off the platform when walking along the edge. Okay, in the train, so as not to be a nuisance to other passengers, refrain from speaking loudly. Japanese people tend to do this too as well. From time to time, they have been known to speak a little too loud. Or shouting while on the train. Foreigners have been known to do this an obscene amount of times. Please set your cell phone to silent mode and refrain from making or accepting calls while on the train. Discard of food and beverage waste in the receptacles provided in the station or in the train. Now, as you can see, the train station provides receptacles for food and drink, so it's clearly okay for you to eat or drink, and that includes alcohol. Lavatory etiquette: sit down to use the toilet, do not throw toilet paper in the trash, flush it down, press the button to flush the toilet. So as you can see, before we go into the comments, as you can see, this, within the actual video itself, the Japanese man was a little more in the wrong for actually putting his hands physically touching. I wouldn't even call that touching. I'd call that something a little more serious than that. But, for physically grabbing the gentleman, trying to drag him out of the train station. If that gentleman wanted, he probably could press charges against the Japanese man. I'm not sure. But yeah. But regardless, I do commend the Japanese man for standing up to the foreign gentleman. I don't want to assume, but I can almost guess the interaction, and I can almost imagine that the foreign gentleman felt so entitled that he probably provoked him or someone else. And there also seems like there's another voice on there, a woman, but I can't really be sure. So yeah. I'd like to thank Okawari Travels for the video, because if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be able to make my video, explain things like I have to you fine folks. So thank you very much, Okawari Travels. I'd like to thank you guys for watching. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, even criticisms, by all means, exercise your freedoms to write what you want down below, and I'll see you in the next video. Ja minna, sorosoro. Annyeong, chane, chalja, bye bye, see you, oyasumi, good night, peace.